Hi, it's Look Movie Recaps again. Today I will explain an action and crime film released in 2015. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. A police officer named Green is getting ready to give money to a high-profile prisoner named Balam. Despite being incarcerated, Balam is held in a separate facility under the supervision of his personal guards and has access to opulent amenities. Balam is able to operate his drug-dealing business in addition to his human trafficking and transportation of weapons. He chooses to remain in prison because he believes it to be the safest location, where his adversaries cannot harm him. In another scene, we witness the arrival of new prisoners and learn that they will be housed in the same building as Balam. Among the inmates is an ex-cop named Jack, who is charged with the murder of a fellow officer while on duty and bank robbery. Officer Green stops Jack before he can get into his designated prison cell, punches him in the stomach and warns him that he won't be in the prison for long. A week earlier, Jack and his fellow officers robbed a bank. It turns out that this was a plot. After successfully obtaining the evidence from the bank lockers, Jack and his colleagues try to escape but get caught by the other officers. During the crossfire, Jack's colleagues are killed in action. Only Jack manages to escape. He runs inside a building with some officers pursuing him. When Jack is about to leave the building after fighting with some officers, he's confronted by another officer from behind who threatens to kill him. Just then, Jack reveals his face to the officer and jumps from the building along with him. He purposefully does this because he recognized the police officer who was involved in his wife's murder. The officer lands his head first and dies instantly, but Jack was lucky to survive the fall. Later, Jack leaves the evidence bag inside the apartment of a reporter named Tricia. He provides her with all the evidence about corruption and involvement of the government officials with Balam and also asks her to report the case to the district attorney's office. Going back to jail, during lunch, the previous prisoner declines to pay Simeon any money. So the relative of Balam seeks for security money from a new inmate. The individual was then physically assaulted by Simeon, and Simeon then went up to Jack to ask for money. Nevertheless, he beats him up and brings him to the ground before Simeon could threaten him. Consequently, Simeon launched his attack first, which led the guards to apprehend him and place him in isolation. In the next scene, Jack is in a covert jail where he speaks with Balam via surveillance cameras. He warns Jack that if he keeps interfering in his personal matters, he will kill him in a horrifying way, exactly like how he did with his wife, but Jack is unmoved by the threats. Later that evening, 3 of Balam's men break into Jack's cell and attack him. Unexpectedly, Jack managed to render all 3 unconscious with ease, not even bothering to wake his slumbering roommate. In other scenes, when Tricia finishes gathering evidence, she approaches the district attorney's office and makes an effort to meet Jack Stone in prison. However, the receptionist informs her that the attorney is currently busy, so she is asked to give the evidence to Mark, the district attorney's assistant, which she declines. Tricia is still investigating the evidence she previously obtained. In the next scene, Tricia is seen waiting for the lawyer to leave his office so she may meet him in person. Later, the lawyer steps outside. Tricia approaches him and gives him all the information she has regarding the proof she has against the dishonest police officers and government officials. After giving her his own car, Attorney Johnson requests that she get in touch with him if she needs any assistance. Following this, Tricia goes to see Jack and lets him know that she's working with the information he gave her. He advises Tricia to use the material carefully before he got back to his cell. Jack gets to know William, a prisoner. He advises Jack to exercise caution around Balam's men. In response, Jack says he is not afraid of Balam or Simeon. He also asks William where Balam's cell is, but William tells him that it is so secret that not even the majority of prison guards should be aware of it. In the other scene we see a female prison, in which 2 inmates engage in combat. As the guards approach, they separate the 2 prisoners. Following this, a prisoner by the name of Elena is led to Balam's cell while hiding her face. She is then led in front of Balam, while Simeon and other inmates are also there. Elena is sent there after she beat one of Balam's favorite female inmate. Simeon and his men are there because they tried to collect security money from new inmates without Balam's knowledge. After some time, Balam declares that he will award $100,000 to the person who kills Jack. William then appears and informs Jack that there is a bounty on his head. Some of the prisoners form a group and attempt to kill Jack, but with William's assistance, he can easily defeat them all. Meanwhile, Balam receives a call from District Attorney Johnson, who says that Tricia has the evidence against him, showing that he also works with him. Hearing this, Balam begs Johnson to finish Tricia while he eliminates Jack. At the end of the day, while Jack is working in the laundry room, a group of prison guards show up and attack him in an attempt to seize the bounty. Following this, Jack exits the living room but is soon met by a new group of prisoners who are prepared to assault him before engaging in combat. Jack tries to explain to them that the prize is not worth the risk they are taking, and that dividing the money up among themselves will result in a smaller prize pool. When the convicts see this, they back off and leave. In the meantime, Trisha goes to see her friend Allison and tells her everything there is to know about Balam, the evidence she has against him, and the officers who are working with him. In the following scene, Elena approaches Balam's preferred female prisoner Ket and apologizes for her previous behavior. Rather than taking her apology seriously, Ket starts a new fight and punches Elena in the face. After Elena pretends to pass out, she is brought to the prison doctor for additional treatment. The doctor examines Elena and retains her in medical room, but as soon as the doctor leaves, Elena undoes her handcuffs with the aid of a paperclip and pilfers various drugs and alcohol to conceal them in William's cleaning bucket. While William explains to Jack about different evidence that is hidden inside the prison. Suddenly, the two are attacked by other inmates, and a fight breaks out. Later, Jack is placed in solitary confinement on the grounds that he started the fight. William is asked to appear before prison warden Blaine because he and Jack fought against Balam's men. Blaine threatens William, telling him to give him more money if he wants to stay in the prison undercover. However, when Trisha goes to see the district attorney again, the receptionist tells her that Johnson is occupied with many meetings. Surprisingly, Mark comes up to Trisha and again asks that she provide him the proof. In the following scene, Balam's daughter pays him a visit, which leads to Balam being freed from prison and taken to the meeting room as Balam leaves his cell. When William notices him, he gives Elena instructions, then she starts acting like she's unconscious. She is then carried away by a prison guard to the medical room. Later, the warden is attacked by Elena, and Elena sneaks into the CCTV room while William is still posing as a prison guard. Elena is watching the CCTV footage. She then sees that Balam is about to leave the visiting room and she informs William, who unlocks Jack's solitary confinement cell and lets him go. Once outside, Jack assaults a prison guard and puts on his uniform. William then tells Jack that he and Elena will help him get to Balam's private cell. He then follows William and Elena's instructions to go to Balam's cell. Blaine and other prison guards find out that someone has broken into the CCTV room while they are attempting to open the door. Elena finds a way to get inside the air duct and escape, before they enter the control room. In other scenes, William realizes that Balam has to return to his private cell, so he opens all the prison doors including the prisoners' cells to buy Jack time. When the prisoners emerge from their cells and start attacking the prison guards who used to mistreat them and torture them, a terrified officer named Green tries to run away. But Jack stops him at the same moment by pushing him into a group of prisoners. This causes mayhem throughout the entire prison. While William and Elena are occupied fighting off other convicts who are attacking them, Jack approaches Balam and is confronted by Simeon. The two start fighting, and even though Simeon stabs Jack in the stomach with a knife, Jack prevails and enters Balam's chamber. As this is going on, it becomes clear that Allison has joined forces with District Attorney Johnson to plot Trisha's death. However, before Allison can shoot Trisha, she is saved by Mark, who is revealed to be an FBI agent. It is then revealed that Mark is posing as a prosecutor's assistant in order to expose the wrongdoing of District Attorney Johnson and other government officials. The scene then returns to the prison, where William is able to knock out Warden Blaine and other guards. Eventually, Jack finds Balam and engages in a one-on-one battle. Balam soon obtains the upper hand and knocks Jack out. As Jack loses consciousness and falls to the ground, he remembers how Balam and his men killed his wife. This gives him the motivation to get back up and quickly eliminate Balam and exact retribution for his wife's murder. William introduces Jack and Elena to each other when the SWAT squad arrives at the prison and successfully calms the dangerous situation. William later stated that his employer wanted to praise him for his assistance in dismantling Balam's gang both inside and outside the prison. Jack expresses gratitude to the pair for helping him exact his revenge. Later, the FBI apprehends all public servants and law enforcement personnel who are discovered to be collaborating with Balam. William takes Jack into custody, promising to release him shortly, and the film ends here. If you have watched this far, I appreciate it. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and watch more recaps. Enjoy your day.